everybody. Welcome back to Ghosting with Anya. I'm your host, Anya Smith. Soon I will be Mrs. Dady, which is my husband's name, is Chris Dady. So I will be his Mrs. Dady. So anyway, here's an update in the house. Now we are getting rid of my old dresser because we got the new one for my house. Well, Chris and I are living there. We just got into a new house. We load up some more stuff, organized as well, unloaded it, organized for 1 hour. So afterwards, we went to Marco's Pizza and got some dinner. So now my husband is loading up the car.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're gonna load up some more boxes into the car and then take it to the new house, unload it, and organize some more. We can do it tomorrow because he has to go back to work tomorrow at the work building at the Marriott.
From home tomorrow.
Oh, I guess he's working tomorrow, but only from home. But I do this every night. So my cat, when we got home, she was about to go outside, and I made sure she didn't. So, well, it's a little after 8. So we have a new story for you all tonight. It's called The Child Who Waited by the Elevator. Wow, it's something to do with a kid waiting for his mommy or daddy to get off the elevator so the child can go home with them and relax. So anyway, but yeah, so we have some stuff at the new house. We're just organizing it like always, and we'll do the same thing again tomorrow after my husband gets done with his work, because he works with the Marriott. He's been doing it about 10 years by now. He's gonna get his 10-year plaque soon. We're gonna celebrate it, and also we're gonna celebrate of our big giant move from our current place to our new house. So I'll let you guys know once we get all the Wi-Fi done at the new house and get all the internet connected. That way I can go live streaming on TikTok soon. So I tried that when there's no Wi-Fi at the new house, but soon I will. Anyway, I hope you guys are ready for the news story, because let's just find out the news story about the child who was waiting for his mommy or daddy, maybe both, by the elevator. Perhaps this might be a spirit of a young child who lost his or her life to something that we cannot explain very easily. So I just want to say thank you for subscribing to Ghosting with Anya right here on YouTube, and thank you for all of your support. Please continue supporting it. Thank you for just being here, and let's get started. Please click like, share, and subscribe, and let's get started on the story. So we are in 5 minutes now. We're still on season 5, episode 138. By tomorrow, it's going to be episode 139. So let's get started. So after that, probably just going to get cleaned up, get ready for tomorrow, and do what we normally do. So anyway, I hope you guys are brave enough to listen to the ghost stories and everything. So if you have any opinions, let me know what you think about the story. If you think it's related to any special events, like in real life, just leave me a comment down below and let me know what you guys think. So here we go. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing okay and staying spooky and safe and just having fun, having some goosebumps coming through. Anyway, let's get started on the story. And I'm going to help my husband load up some more boxes into the house. Well, into the car, then take them to the house and unload it and everything else. Yada, yada, yada. So, anyway, let's get started on the story. I'm going to help you out with it.
I'm almost done with that side, babe.
Then we're going to start in the bedroom.
Yeah, I might bring some of the ones in the bedroom out here so I can work on the dresser.
Okay. Love you too. My husband is taking the stuff to the cars so we can take them to the new house and unload it up and organize a bit more by tomorrow when he's not doing his day job with the Marriott. So anyway, let's get started on the story. Episode 138 of season 5 of Ghosting with Anya. The child who waited by the elevator. Marcus had been working maintenance at St. Vincent's Medical Center for almost 7 years and had grown numb to the strange emotional weather hospitals create. He knew the building by sound more than sight, the hum of lights in older wings, the uneven rattle of gurney wheels, the sigh of the elevators opening into long fluorescent corridors at 3 a.m. Nothing in the hospital truly slept, which made it easy to blame exhaustion for any odd moment. Nurses saw shadows when they had been on shift too long. Families heard names called that no one had spoken. Marcus respected those stories without believing them. Then the pediatric elevator on the east side began stopping at the 4th floor, with no one inside. That is so creepy. Something tells me that part of the hospital is kind of haunted. I'm guessing that pediatric wing is, I don't know, kind of haunted. I'm thinking the 4th floor of the hospital can be a little freaky. Apparently someone must have died in the elevator.
Sounds very freaky.
Have you ever been to the haunted wings of the hospital?
Nope. I have not.
Okay. I don't know if I ever seen any haunted places of that sort of wing of the hospital.
I have not.
Like old rooms, maybe old floors, pediatric sort of floor, maybe.
Good.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. My voice can be very scratchy when I've been sitting a lot, singing songs, talking too much, maybe reading a lot of right on YouTube, on live streaming. So anyway, we'll figure some shit out. So maybe I'll just get some tea and drink it. We have disposable cups in the cupboard right behind me, um, next to the stove, right where the fridge would be. Soon it's going to be empty. That way we can fill up our new fridge with our stuff. Basically, we're going to buy more groceries and take it to the new house and fill it up, especially with the frozen foods. Okay, let's continue on the story. At first, it was only an inconvenience. The elevator would answer a call from below, glide up obediently, and open its doors to an empty hall. While the indicator blinked floor 4, Marcus checked the panel and found no mechanical fault. Security checked the cameras and saw nothing but the doors opening on their own. One of the pediatric nurses, Lena, joked that the old lift liked the children better than the staff, but within a week, several people separately reported seeing a little boy standing near the elevator doors. Just before they opened, he wore red striped hospital socks, a pale gown, and held a stuffed rabbit by one ear. Each witness described him the same way, maybe 6 years old, dark hair, solemn expression, not frightened exactly, but waiting for someone who had promised to come. By the time Lena told Marcus this, he had already begun avoiding eye contact with the polished elevator doors after midnight. Something tells me there's a little kid who died at the hospital, maybe at the pediatric floor. So someone in the past somehow promised would come and visit this little kid, but they never did. So he died of a broken heart or whatever. He was sick for a long time. I don't know how old he was. I'm guessing a 6-year-old. And we don't really know the name of this little child, so let's find out and what this child actually passed away from. Anyway, he was holding his a rabbit or something. I don't know, but my guess is that Marcus must have been, I don't know, chosen somehow. But let's find out and see where this thing is going with the story. I hope you guys are brave enough to I don't know, listen, or brave enough to see what could happen or hear anything. If you have any questions about this, leave me a comment down below. I would love to reply to you all right here on live stream. So anyway, I hope you guys are still awake and doing whatever you guys normally do. Get something to drink, maybe to snack on, and let's continue on the story. One rainy Tuesday, Marcus was called to the 4th floor to fix a flickering light above the family lounge. The pediatric wing had quieted after visiting hours, and the corridor held that hushed hospital silence that somehow amplifies every distant monitor beep. As Marcus worked on the ladder, he heard small footsteps on the waxed floor behind him. He assumed a child had wandered away from a room and climbed down quickly, prepared to guide them back. Instead, he saw a boy standing by the elevator, rabbit in hand, looking at the down arrow above the doors. The child did not glance at Marcus. He only asked in a voice clear enough to cut straight through Marcus's skin, "Did she park yet?" Before Marcus could answer, the doors opened to an empty elevator car, and the boy stepped inside the car, descended when Marcus ran to the panel and checked. No one had exited on any recorded floor. I think Marcus is, I don't know, talking to a dead child. But we don't know what killed this child. Perhaps he died at the elevator, or he died in his hospital room, but we don't know which one. So I think Marcus somehow was chosen to see this little boy, or he doesn't know that he's talking to a dead child, or this child doesn't know that he is dead. So it is so sad that this child has left its own body and started getting confused and thought that maybe his mommy or daddy were coming to see him, or his big sister, or whoever. Perhaps it might be his mom. We don't know. So let's continue on the story. It's just so sad that a little boy has passed away, but this child has no idea that he is dead. We don't really know how to process that, but I would be in shock and still processing. I would want to help this kid, but how could I tell this kid that he is dead without scaring him, without confusing him? So we'll figure something out anytime soon. If I were Marcus, I would try to figure out a way to tell this child that he is no longer alive, that no one is coming for him. So I would try and figure out a way to tell him without scaring the shit out of him. Anyway, let's continue on the story. I hope it's a bit longer so we can do some questions afterwards. What you see behind me right there is my husband taking stuff to the car.
Yep.
So anyway, we'll figure something out. We are in 18 minutes now. Let's continue on the story. Sorry about that, guys. My voice can be very scratchy and dry. That's why I need something liquidy and make me feel better. Maybe some tea. Depends. But I'm going to get cleaned up soon after this. Okay. Marcus told no one that night because saying it out loud would have made it harder to keep working. But the next morning, Lena cornered him in the supply room and asked whether he had finally seen our little elevator boy. Her tone was too serious for teasing. She told Marcus that older staff remembered a child, patient from years earlier, who had spent months on the pediatric floor waiting for his mother to arrive after every procedure, every imaging test, every overnight stay. She was a single parent who worked impossible hours, and though no one blamed her, the boy had grown used to asking whether she had parked yet. Whenever the elevator opened, he died unexpectedly after a complication no one had expected to become fatal so quickly for months. Afterward, some nurses claimed they still heard small feet hurrying toward the lift. When the doors chimed, the rabbit had belonged to him, so had the question. It's so sad that this little boy had died at the pediatric floor. Somehow he was sick, but we don't know what killed him. But we'll figure something out. So, here's a question for you before I continue on the story. Do you guys think that this child is still alive and waiting for his mom to come and see him and trying to make him feel better, even though he is no longer alive and doesn't know that he is dead? Do you guys think he is? Let me know in the comments down below if you have any opinions about it. Let's continue on the story. We're almost done here. Marcus tried to ground himself in tasks after that. He repaired rails, replaced filters, and told himself a hospital simply absorbs the strongest emotions of those passing through it. Yet, the elevator behavior worsened sometimes. It would open on the fourth floor and remain there as if waiting doors spread wide in invitation until someone acknowledged the empty car. Other times, the call button on the main lobby would light up at odd hours, though no one stood nearby then. Late one storm, heavy night, Lena called Marcus down to the admitting entrance. Security had spotted a child on camera standing just inside the sliding doors, soaking wet, facing the elevator bank. By the time Marcus got there, the lobby was empty, but a trail of tiny wet footprints led from the entrance to the pediatric elevator and stopped exactly before the closed doors. Beside the final print lay a hospital visitor sticker, blank except for one handwritten word: Mom. Something in Marcus shifted after that. He stopped thinking about malfunction or folklore and started thinking about repetition. The boy was not haunting the elevator itself. He was reliving the act of waiting for someone who had to keep arriving through automatic doors and polished hallways. Marcus took the visitor sticker to Lena, who read the word and sat down heavily at the nurse's station. Together they found an old social worker who had been there when the boy died. She remembered his mother by name. She remembered her guilt, remembered how she kept saying she had only been downstairs moving the car. and getting coffee when the emergency escalated. She had never returned to the hospital after the funeral. No one knew where she lived now. The social worker cried as she said she still sometimes looked toward the elevator, expecting to see him run out asking the same question. That is so sad, you guys. I mean, the mother was so sad to see her son being buried after his death. This child has no idea that his mom will never come back, and he has no idea that he's a ghost and haunting the hospital, which is the fourth floor. It's the pediatric floor, where younger children were stayed just because they were sick somehow with something and they were dying, even though they were like really, really young, 6, maybe 8 years old, or less than that. Perhaps those kids were about, I don't know, infants. Some kids died very, very, very young, especially at newborn. The newborn babies were born very sick. Like me, I'm very sick, but I have type 1 diabetes, but I did not pass away. I'm still here. I'm alive, all grown up, doing podcasting at age 38, almost will be age 39 by next year, which is 2027. A lot of kids die at the pediatric floor, but I'm not really sure if I ever had a pediatrician when I was a child. When I was like really young, maybe age 4. I don't really know. I don't even remember. I don't know. I'll have to ask my mother about it anytime soon if I choose to ask her about it. Anyway, let's continue on the story. It's almost done. So after this, I gotta get cleaned up or help my husband move our stuff to the new house. But it's gonna take a while.
Tomorrow.
Just saying.
Okay.
So tomorrow we'll be finish taking care of all of our shit. So we'll figure something out. So I hope you guys are still awake. It's 8:49 p.m. and let's continue on the story and we'll figure it out when we get to the questions. Hopefully you guys have any opinions about it, and I hope you can leave me the comments down below after the story. When I do some questions, hopefully you guys will let me know what you guys think about the story and how can it be related to any of this, into our world. Even though it's just a story, it can be actually related to real life events, even little kids. A week later, St. Vincent's held a quiet remembrance in the pediatric lounge, not officially for a ghost, but for children remembered by this wing. Marcus attended because Lena insisted. Nurses placed paper stars on a memory board, and one small stuffed rabbit was set beneath the window. Near the end, the elevator chimed. Everyone in the hall turned. The doors opened on the 4th floor to an empty car, but there on the floor inside rested a fresh visitor badge with a woman's first name written written in hurried pen. No one claimed to know how it got there. After that night, the pediatric elevator still occasionally paused at the fourth floor for no reason, but the little boy was never clearly seen again. Marcus would later say he hoped the child finally understood what the living often failed to say. In time, someone had been coming all along, just never fast enough for the kind of waiting death makes permanent. That is so sad, you guys. A child doesn't know that his mother is never coming back to see him feeling better. So, anyway, I hope Marcus told this child that it's okay to move on into the afterlife. He's no longer needed at the hospital. He doesn't have anything that he needs except to be acknowledged and remembered, be noticed, spoken to in a gentle voice. So, a mother was guilty not returning to see her son fighting whatever this child was dying from. So, I really hope this child left for the afterlife. Like, I hope this child found peace. So, if I had a child, I would get the doctors, help the child, help my baby to fight whatever my child was fighting. Maybe cancer or whatever the child had. Maybe leukemia. A lot of kids die from shit like that. So anyway, let's get started on the questions. I know you guys have like a lot of them, so we only have 10 questions, and I'll try my best to give you all the answers that you guys are looking for, because I want to know as well. So here's my husband.
Yep.
How's it going with the crack bead dresser thing?
Not bad.
Did you get them all?
Not all of them.
Well, do you have anyone to help you beat the crap out of it?
I don't know, but it is.
Huh.
I got the back side things and stuff. It's a lot lighter now.
Okay. Yeah, we're getting rid of my dresser right now because my new one should be at the new house really soon. I hope they're taking it to the new house. So, all right, let's get started on the questions. What do you think the boy wanted most? His mother, recognition, or release? Well, if I were his mother, I would literally go and see the child. I would not abandon this child. It would be a horrible thing to do, to just abandon this child at the hospital. But if I were his mommy, I would continue coming and visiting him. This child wanted his mommy, but she never showed up. So he wanted to be reunited with his mommy, but mostly he wanted recognition and to be released. But he'll also want his mother. So I think he wanted his mom, but she never showed up because she's feeling guilty for not returning and seeing her son being very sick in the hospital in the pediatric floor. So she felt guilty, but she just couldn't handle that, seeing her baby dying. this is why this child wanted his mother, but she just couldn't do it. I would be very sad about it. If I were his mom, if I were his mommy, I would literally try be brave enough to see my baby. Literally. Let's go number 2. Would you have kept working that wing after seeing him? Of course I would. Yes. No wonder why Marcus was chosen to see this child, because this child kept going to the elevator and wait for his mommy to return. Apparently his mother never did. So he's used to it now, even in death. But he doesn't know he's dead. So that's why he kept going to the elevator. And apparently, what if he did stop? So he died just like that. But I would continue working there if I were Marcus. Yes, I actually would. Even my husband would, but I would probably continue visiting that floor, and I would try and communicate with this child, trying to get evidence and get some answers and see if I could help this little kid move on into a peaceful, quiet afterlife. Maybe there's a bunch of other children who died, went there, and he'll be safe there if he went there. He would be very happy playing with all the kids, and he would no longer feel sick. So I would try and help him. Anyway, let's continue on. Let's go to number 3. What is more chilling, the empty elevator or the wet footprints? Well, I'm thinking the elevator going up and down, opening on its own. But the other chilling part is seeing wet footprints from a child, even though we can't really see children unless you have some kind of special power to see them. You have to be born psychic mediums, and it's the only thing. But I think it's the elevator. So let's for number 4. Why do hospitals create such emotionally powerful ghost stories? The reason why the hospitals can create a lot of emotional, powerful ghost stories is because there is, this story can be very related to real life emotional stories, real life events. When a young child dies from some unexpected illness and a spirit just comes out of its body and walks through the pediatric floor and doesn't know he's dead. He thinks he's still alive, but he's not. But the spirit is trying to figure it out. How can he communicate with the living? He would have some kind of power to do that, but the emotions are tied. His magic is tied to his emotions. Like if you watch Charmed, those 3 sisters actually have powers, and they know when they figure out they have powers and they have some weird emotions, that's because it's combined with them. They have awakened the magic, especially with the book. So the way to control them is to practice using their magic and control emotions. Literally, I've got a lot of emotions, but I'm very good at it. to control them. I have my temper, but I try not to release it. Trying to control them, but it can be hard, but I try my best. So, a lot of spirits have the power to control their emotions as well. They just need to figure it out how. Like, do some, like taking a breath or something like that. Spirits do a lot of weird shit, but if they're haunting a place where they died, that's where they're trapped. And they don't know how to find their way out, don't know how to find peace. They have to haunt the place, they have to haunt the people. So, this is why. Let's go to number 5. We've got 5 questions left before I sign off. We are in 41 minutes. I hope you guys are still awake and it's already 2 minutes after 9 o'clock in the evening. So, do you think the remembrance helped the boy leave? Yes, it did. When we remember something of a spirit, we would have to let our emotions go, let them go, because there's nothing left for the spirit. If we want them to move on, we have to remember the way they were before they died. How wonderful they once were, what they used to sound like, what they did, and we remember what their faces look like. So, the only way to let the spirit leave is to remember them by anything. We have to let go of the past. We have to move forward. It's the only way to help the spirit find peace. Tell the truth to the spirit. And you can just let go of the anger, just like that. It's the only way. Let's go to number 6. What do you make of the visitor badge appearing in the elevator? Well, I think maybe somehow the spirit took the badge and put it in the elevator so Marcus and the other person can notice it. Somehow they finally processed all that and it worked. So the spirit can finally move on and be very happy. Everything can go back the way it used to be. Alright. But things happen all the time. It's probably because of the spirit. Alright, so let's go to number 7. We're almost done here. Is a child ghost in a hospital sadder than frightening? Yes, it is. It's not frightening at all. The child was so sad that his mommy could never return. She just can't handle it. That is the reason why she never showed up and see her baby. So, if it was frightening, it's probably because this child is angry and frightened at the same time, just because his mommy could never come back and see him. She already lost so much, especially before she even lost her baby, she lost someone else. So I think he was sad that his mom could never show up again. She just could not handle it. That is the reason why he died. Let's go to number 8. We have 3 questions left before I sign off.
Good. I like your question, babe.
Thanks. You missed all of them. Well, mostly.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. Would you have told others right away if you saw him? Yes, I would. Of course I would. I would, process it first and tell someone. Like my friends, my family, anyone. So, I would literally tell anyone. I just have to wrap it around my brain first and then tell someone about it. I mean, spirits would just want to be noticed and recognized, remembered, and they just want to find a way to get help and talk to someone so they could move on. That is the reason why spirits do this. All right, let's go to number 9 because we got 2 questions left. We are in 46 minutes. Do you believe repetitive hauntings are based on memory more than intention? Yes, of course. It's just memories that keep coming back. Is because we cannot let go of our past. The past would always come back to haunt us because we're too angry, and that's why we can't let it go. So I do believe that memories can return, but it just happens. If you believe that this could happen to anyone, let me know in the comments down below. All right, we've got one last question before I sign off. If someone died waiting for a person, how could that waiting ever end? Never. It can never end. It'll continue on until someone else ends up dead and continue waiting. I would probably somehow tell the spirit that the wait is over. No one's coming. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. It's time to move on. I can help you by letting go of your anger and letting go of everything you have ever held in your life. That's the way I would have done. I would tell someone, like a spirit, it's time to move on. It's time to go. Everything's going to be okay, no matter what. The spirit will probably acknowledge that and finally move on. And everything will be okay. So, spirits are just too fragile sometimes. Okay, we are out of time. Thank you guys for listening, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys like it. It's just so sad that this child had never had a chance to grow up, become the most handsome person on earth. So tomorrow we'll be doing a new story. It's called The Music Box in the Guest Room. This is a new story, and I hope you guys like it. So have a wonderful night and stay safe. Please click like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching. May God bless you all and stay safe. So see you guys tomorrow on live stream Ghosting with Anya. So good night and see you all tomorrow. Please click like, share, and subscribe. And see you on my next episode of Ghosting with Anya. Bye.
Good show, baby.